check, guys. Don't get excited. They're so reaction-based that seeing him like adapt to new situations on the fly was just absolutely incredible, and that's why he's doing the very difficult thing of being a dominating Injustice 2 player with not even having any experience in Injustice 1. You know, Hayatei really came out during MKX. Didn't really like Injustice 1 at all, and he was pretty verbal about it before Injustice 2 came out. And I think he's really happy with the changes they made, you know, the improvement to the walk speed, changing of the jump arc. It's such a much more fluid game now.
Well, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Happy hour at the Ace of Clubs.
All right.
Robin and Aquaman.
Checking the TV. Now, both of those interactables are blockable, unlike the Joker's Playground or the last stage that we just saw.
He's going to catch Hayatei out of that jump with a down 2. Full combo.
Oh, it goes for the Assassin Strike right there. And Gross having none of it. Gross just being very fundamental and a great use of that trait. And now, for those of you who don't know how Aquaman's trait works, think of it as the opposite of being frozen by Sub-Zero. You just kind of fall out of combos as long as your feet are on the ground. So it's just a nice, easy way to get you out of your opponent's combos and get the momentum back on your side.
Absolutely. If he's on the ground, he has.
Yeah, he has an option to get out of combos.
There's the meta there for sure.
Oh, the down 2 by Gross, knowing Hayatei's tendency to jump, and who wouldn't jump when you got to jump in 3 like that? That sword is so huge.
Chuck and Tridents here. Gross catches him with the tentacle strike.
I love the spacing awareness by Gross, knowing he was one forward dash away from extending that combo.
And just running him down, wants to chip him out, take that first health bar. Hayatei looking really strong here against Aquaman.
Yeah, pretty much tying it up, and the whiff punish by Hayatei gets the back 3. No! Gross flips out, and Hayatei is all over it!
Don't you ever air escape against Robin.
It's very scary to air escape that high in the air, you know, because it's very obvious, very easy to spot. And like I said before, Hayatei's a very reaction-based player.
You are not fit to lead. Superman and I disagree.
I think Robin's fit. I think Hayatei's fit to lead. Definitely fit to lead.
And there's the swoop. Beautiful with the recall.
And Gross's last option there was to use those 2 bars, and Hayatei meets him on the ground with the Assassin Strike.
Begin.
Hayatei taking the lead 1-0 over Gross, and Gross just being very stubborn, hitting rematch, not going to character select because he is the Green Lantern main. You know, very rarely do I see him using Aquaman. Checks the TV again. These are blockable interactables. Oh, the whiff punish there with the back 1-2. Gross with a full combo.
Gross looking to hydrate himself after that first game.
The down 2 disrespecting Hayatei or whatever he does, and Hayatei giving him some disrespect of his own.
The Birdarang set up. He's able to interrupt it. We have Trident Rush.
Not really sure what that was there. It looked like a trade. Now, when Hayatei does meter burner, he makes that launcher safe. But there is a gap in there. I believe it's like 8 or 9 frame gap. So a very fast button can interrupt it. And it looks like Gross might have been a little too late on it to really get a clean interruption.
Gross does have the lead. However, he is without bar. Hayatei almost on a full stick of butter here. One more exchange, and Hayatei could look really good here in the second phase of this match here going on. Beautiful interruption once again. Cancel into the Trident Rush. He's going to spend the bar he just got. Now he's got to retreat. Hayatei catching him.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Barry just getting the end of that normal and canceling into the launcher. I feel like it was a little preemptive.
Walking out of Robin's specials and normals, very dangerous business here. Gross playing very patient here. He really needs this next game.
And the Trident Rush gets meter burn. Robin's in the corner, but he pokes his way out.
Bombs on deck here. We got the setups. He's going to respect it. He's got to back up.
All right, decides not to meter burn that. Very interesting. I think he's trying to keep his clash in mind.
Even your name is stupid. You like using that word, don't you?
Words with friends here from Robin.
I mean, Aquaman's name is kind of stupid. Let's be real. Aquaman gets like the biggest, it gets trashed by everybody, the general public, like the most out of every other superhero. Okay, he's going from with the tentacle strike.
And that exchange put Gross in a favorable position here for that chip out territory with the Trident Rush, but here comes Hayatei. Spends the bar.
Gross being very patient. He knows he doesn't have to put himself in danger.
Oh, he just got away from the Trident Rush. What's going to happen? Bombs on deck. He's got a clash.
Atlantis will not fall. Superman and I disagree.
All right, Gross using that one bar to get 15%. That's a bang for your buck. Oh, escapes the tentacle strike.
We'll
barely.
agree to disagree because Hayatei is not out of it just yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it enough? It's not enough.
1 bar meter between them, and the tentacle strike is going to take game 2 for Gross. He barely squeezes out of that. He needed all of the help from all 7 Cs. And here we go, game 3.
That assassin strike was so close to hitting him. If Gross was Annie's leader on that tentacle strike, that would have been a different outcome, and this would have been 2-0, but it's not. It's all tied up 1-1.
Pressure makes diamonds here. Trident Rush.
Checks the burn ring. All right, so both players just trying to feel it out. They don't want to overextend right there, and Hayatei was ready for Gross to move immediately after landing. Burnerang and a beautiful delay wake up by Gross, but when you do delay wake up, you have to eat the mix up of the sweep or the overhead, and most players just eat the sweep.
The first tech here in top 8 by Gross. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you do tech a throw, you do sustain a little bit of damage.
Yeah, just a tiny little bit, but it's definitely better than eating the whole throw. Oh, and speaking of throws, Gross putting his hands all over Robin. No, not enough. The tentacle strike recovered a little too quickly for that move.
And now Gross pressing the advantage here.
Both players just trying to use that range.
Even your name is stupid. Even you underestimate me.
All right, so a little different response than the last game. Hayatei uses 1 bar, gets 15% back from the clash. This time Hayatei was ready. He was ready. Last time he dropped it in that same situation, but he knew that, you know, when you do get your hands on Aquaman, you know, things get a little weird with that trait. Oh, the back 1-2 by Gross, perfectly spaced out.
What's the follow-up here? He's just going to jump in, try to force out a special here from Hayatei. No push block.
No push block. He's okay with taking the chip. He'd rather have the meter of his own because he wants to put Gross in a bad situation. He wants to force the clash, and then he wants to hurt him for it. Oh, no, not like that. Cannot flip out, and that's enough to close out that third game. Gross going up 2-1 over Hayatei. And is he just going to hit rematch, or is he going to take a breather? No.
We're just going to go right back into it.
We're going
the Warriors code.
This.
Just go right back into it.
That's definitely the Warriors
No
code
retreat,
right
no surrender.
Definitely not. Not for either of these players. Chucks the Birdarang.
What's on the channel? The Birdarangs.
Blocked that sweep perfectly. And Hayatei using a string you don't really see, but I think he's just taking advantage of the fact that when Aquaman is traded up, when he's wet, he takes full damage for anything that he blocks.
He's going to spend the bar, but wasn't able to extend the combo. He's got to respect the tentacles. The jump in, unsuccessful. The down 2, there's no punish, but trait activation, station, and now Aquaman's in the driver's seat.
What I want to see more out of Hayatei is once he blocks those down 2s, which he is very good at blocking them, I want him to meet him with a down 2 of his own. You know, take Aquaman off his feet and making that water trait of his completely useless. Like this right here. No reason for Gross to really use that there. And unfortunately, Hayatei dropped a really big combo and a big opportunity. Beautiful down 2. Keeps him in the corner. How did that not hit? How did that not hit? I'm sure Hayatei's in disbelief, just as much disbelief as I'm in. Seeing that jump, that neutral jump 3 went right through the skull of Aquaman.
He's going to interrupt there. Big damage here once again from Gross. We got the total recall bats. Here we go.
Oh, he was looking for a very tricky setup there. Fortunately, slightly miscalculated it there.
Rare use of the 4-3 for sure. Here we go. This is what we needed to see. These double hitting moves, breaking the armor from these back threes. But just like that.
Those are two huge mistakes. What's Hayatei going to do to get out of this? The down two. Gross decides not to continue the combo. He's avoiding the clash.
Jumps over the trident throw.
No, and the throw. Gross taking it. Gross taking it over Hayatei, catching him, you know, with his guard completely up. And that's a beautiful thing about throws is once your opponent's defense is so good and they're just blocking everything you throw at them, overheads, low